Welcome back everyone. I accidentally bought another bike. I don't need any more bikes, but it came up, it was a good price, so I thought, hey, why not? So it's a classic Marin Eldridge from the 90s. Needs a bit of work, needs quite a bit of work actually. So we're going to strip it all the way down to the bare frame, put it back together, any new bits it needs, cables, tyres, grips, all that stuff. We're going to change it all, make it look like a bike again. Restore it to its former glory. Maybe. This is a Marin Eldridge, I believe around about 1990, looking at the Shimano production codes, 1991. And this is Marin's Zolotone paint job, so it's sort of a grey, rough, textured finish. Very, very popular back in the 90s. Most of it chips off really badly. This one's not actually too bad. There is a bit of corrosion there around these stays here, so we're not going to be able to do much with that. You can't touch up Zolotone paint particularly successfully. It's pretty much a unique finish. I think it is actually a finish rather than a paint. I don't know the science behind it, I'm sorry. But Marin did an awful lot of these back in the 90s. It was very popular, but it's long gone now, obviously. Parts wise, it's a mixture of Deore LX and Deore DX. So DX was one below XT back in the day, and LX was just below DX as well. So it's pretty good stuff really, to be honest. Again, cranks are LX, pedals are DX. It's even got the original centre caps, so they're pretty good. And if you know, you know. XT shark fin. Looks like it's got its original wheels. They are a matching pair. These tyres are not doing it any favours whatsoever, so I'll see if I can find something a bit more appropriate for it. And we're on cantilever brakes, everyone's favourite. Unfortunately, I don't have any of this extra thick Shimano cable from back in the day. I think it is still available, but I'm going to cable it back up with just fresh modern cable, slightly thinner than this, but that'll still work perfectly well. This quick release is a bit tatty. I'll see if I can clear that up with some evaporust in the grinder. Maybe find a new O-ring for that. These bars are fitted back to front, so it's sweeping forwards at the moment. How can you ride it like that? I don't know. And these grips are completely toast. I've got some pretty good replicas for that though. Clean up these old Rapidfires. They actually sort of still work, but we'll make them work a bit better than that. This is faded. Neon paint fades really, really badly. I'm not going to be able to do much with that, unfortunately, but I'm hoping the bottom of the bar is a bit brighter because it's been living upside down most of its life. Right, let's get stuck in. So I am going to replace all the cables. I'll just cut all these off, take the wheels off, pull the bottom bracket, just get it down to its bare frame, take the headset out, clean it all up, bang it back together. I do quite like these. I've never had one, but I always fancied one back in the day. They did a big range of these, Pine Mountain, Eldridge, all sorts of different models, all from Marin County. I went there a couple of years ago. I tried to get into the Merwood Forest, but wow, parking was, wow. California don't make your life easy, that's for sure. Anyway, let's get going. I did, however, get to the bike museum that's located in California. Met Joey Breeze, put a picture up. Nice chap, talked for a while. Yeah, amazing place. If you're ever in that area, I would highly recommend taking the time out to go and have a look at that. There's some fantastic bikes in there. Really, really special stuff. These tyres. These are the same tyres, I think, as on my Rally Mustang. They're not fit for this bike, that's for sure. Actually, I'll just put that wheel back in. I want to show you something with this cantilever brake. You should have a reflector bracket fitted on this. Underneath here is a safety thing, really. Because what happens if this brake cable snaps? I'll show you. Might not be so bad on this because the cables are set so badly, but you get the idea. Let me show you. So you're just riding along and then your cable snaps. Not quite so dramatic, but normally what would happen is that would go straight in there, jam up your front wheel and throw you over the bars. So if you have got cantilever brakes on there, make sure you've got the bracket fitted there still. Don't need the reflector, you can have something, but anything just to catch that if that cable was to snap like that. It was less dramatic than I was hoping for, but you get the idea. New gear cables are going on. Actually not bad shape, but no point doing half a job. There is a bit of corrosion there actually. And the front one has definitely seen better days. I've got another Marin coming in this weekend. Team Titanium. Wow, it's going to be an interesting build. I will film that for you as well. Same sort of era, definitely, but titanium version. And I think the frame is pretty much brand new, unbelievably, so that should look very, very nice. That's coming in Saturday. Today's Wednesday. So you might have a bit of a glut of old mountain bikes coming for the next few weeks, so I apologise. But I'll get back to the variety when I can. Just depends what comes through the door, guys. There when that moves. I mean, this one didn't come through the door, I ended up buying it. I don't know why. Actually, my friend went out to collect another bike for himself, so I can repair his bike. All makes sense later. And the guy had this for sale at the same time. Sent me a message and I was like, oh, yeah, why not? Grab it. When I have finished this and put it back together, I'll be selling it, guys, so if anybody wants this, give me a shout. I think one day, when the channel's a bit bigger, I mean, it's going well as it is, don't get me wrong, but I want to start doing raffles, possibly. I'll buy a bike, you watch a video servicing it, and then you can win it at the end. You know what they do with cars and stuff. It'll be like 50p a ticket or something daft. I can't do it yet, don't get excited, but I think that could be an interesting concept at some point. Potentially you could even ship it overseas, it's not a car. We'll see how it goes, guys. I'm not promising anything, but... Right, I'll be fitting a new chain as well. Got a massive fly buzzing around behind me, so if you can hear it. Sorry. Steel frame, so no replaceable dropout on this mech. Designed and race proven in Marin County, California. Note designed and race proven, doesn't say manufactured. Made in Taiwan, no doubt. There's some original Zolotone there, so I'm hoping this cleans up a bit. Pedals, I think the seller actually just threw them back on at the last minute, which was nice of them. DX pedals, so they're not actually been screwed in, they're just loose at the moment. Take this cap off, there's a special tool for this. These caps, I bought a set of these for my Cannondale that's hanging on the wall. I paid £20 for these two caps that are in reasonable condition. These are in even better condition. They're only plastic. £20 a pair. Crazy. This one's just as good, and it comes out as a result. Proper bottom bracket in here as well, so I'll be looking at that. No biopaste on this, that's showing its age. I think they've given up on biopaste by this year. Bottom bracket doesn't sound too bad, and there's no play in there, but we'll get some fresh bearings in there and some grease. Let's see if we can get the fixed cup out. I have a new tool for that, so don't worry. I think I already showed you it once. Spin that in and spin this out. There's a Unior puller, because I broke my old part one, if you remember. This one is pretty good though. Well, these have been on for 30 odd years, haven't they? Once you break past the taper, there you go. Whew. If you notice, the washer came out with that bolt when you took that off. If you leave that washer in, that's what happens. It gets really tight and then you break something. So make sure that comes out with it. Not in quite as far as I want it, so I'm just going to make sure that goes all the way in. Doesn't need to be tight, it just needs to be all the way in. And then get this one off. Easier said than done. Damn, they're tight. There you go. Whew. Right. A fantastic new lock ring spanner, VAR one, absolutely beautiful, look at it. Just powder coated so you don't scratch the push paint. There you go. Absolutely awesome, that is. Beautiful. This part tool spanner to get over here. Bearing in mind, I can't see what I'm doing, I'm just looking at the screen on the camera. That's actually pretty good. It's boding well for the fixed cup. I don't know if it's a DX bottom bracket, it might be. Pretty dry, very dry. The bearings actually look pretty good. I'll get all that cleaned up. Fixed cup, this is the first attempt. Just get a normal fixed cup spanner on there. They're either come out or they're just super tight. But I've got a much better option than this if this fails. So I'm doing there is get my spanner there and I'm literally squeezing it against the frame there. So I'm pinching that. That gives you pretty good leverage. Just gotta be careful it doesn't slip off. Like I say, this is the easy option. If not, I'll get the other big daddy tool out. Damn you, that's tight. Right, that's not coming out like that. Bear with. So this tool here goes through the bottom bracket. It's made by Cyclo. I think VAR do one of these as well. I'm going to take the seal out before it gets damaged there. We do insert that bit from the other side, comes out there, screw that onto that, and these flats here will clamp on there. There's obviously no danger of that slipping off now. And then you get a big long lever on here and it will come straight out. Crown race tool, I've got bigger if I need it, but I think this should be. It's a left-hand thread, so I'm trying to unscrew it this way before you all say you're doing it the wrong way. It's not Italian. Italian ones will have a normal thread on some frames. Everything else has got a left-hand thread. Right, that's still pretty tight. Bigger lever, hold on. So I've just positioned the frame again now, so I'm basically got a lot more leverage where I'm standing. You can get penetrating fluid in there, but the way it fits, there's really nowhere for it to creep in and do anything. Even from the inside, it's not going to be that effective. If this doesn't work, we'll get some heat on it. I just don't want to damage this paint, that's all. Let's try this mechanical first. If not, we'll get the heat gun on it. Right, there you go. No problem. Once it starts moving, it's easy. But it's an awesome tool, it just can't slip off, so Super amount of leverage on it. Probably unscrew it by hand now. Look, there you go. Done. I'm going to take this shark fin off. I will be putting it back on. All this is basically a chainstay guard, just a fancy one by Shimano. But these sell for good money. It's probably stuck on as well. Yeah, a little bit. Don't break it. Get all this rubbish off as well. Hopefully this comes out without too much of a fight. Not like that, it won't. Flathead in there, it's a bit easier. Look at it, there you go. There's your frame number for any frame number aficionados. And there's the original colour. Spin these out, I'll be replacing these with some shiny ones, don't worry. Just gotta get them out. Oh, there you go, easy. This is my first Marin bike, or Marin, I guess you call it in some areas of the world. They call it Marin. Sorry, hashtag not sorry. These grips are completely dead, so look at the thickness of these brake cables. I'm not quite sure what their thinking was behind that. Whether it's for power or for safety to stop them snapping, I don't know, but like I say, I think you can buy them still, but I'm not going to for this, unfortunately. So whoever buys it, if anybody ever buys it, they'll have normal cables. Got a little roller under here for the brake cable. And all this will come off now. I'll take these off. If you can't get to the bolt, just obviously just move the gear lever. Like that. Then you can get to it. Easy. It won't come off the end of the bar because it's been a bit mangled over the years. Just got to deburr that. Let's use one of these. Let's give me the external bit, obviously, that's causing the issue. Could use a file, obviously. Yeah, same on this one. I don't normally show much of a disassembly job, but I thought I'd show you this one. I normally just rip it quickly off in 5 minutes and then put it back together, but let's go. This is some rubbish bracket for a light or something, so that's obviously going to be coming off. You see how bright it used to be, but like I say, neon, it just fades. It's just as bad as the bottom. It's faded all the way around. I might actually give it a polish, see if it will take some of this off maybe. But I ain't no paint expert, that's for sure. Another pair of cantilevers, obviously. 5 o'clock, close in a minute. Sorry. New video's out in a minute as well. Hope you enjoy it. Another compilation for you. Take the stem out, 6mm bolt in here. Hopefully this is not seized. No problem. And the headset. Nope, need a spanner. Yeah. This fly, why are flies so stupid? Honestly, the door's wide open now. Right, we are in, and these bearings actually look really good as well. Actually look really good. I'm not going to take these cups out, there's no real value to it. You can do if you want to, but it doesn't really achieve anything. If you wanted to, you need one of these, basically it just drops in the frame. Goes underneath there. Whack at the end of it with a hammer and they'll pop out, but like I said, there's no real value to it. I'm going to, seat post does move, like I say. There you go. Beautiful. The final bit, quick release. Job done. So that's all stripped down to the bare frame. Not clamped here, it's just hanging in there, don't worry. So this will be cleaned up, get all this rust out here. What I'm going to do now, because it is the end of the day, I'm going to put all those rusty bits in some Evaporust overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow, put it back together. Nice. Welcome back, day 2. Everything's been soaking overnight in Evaporust, so hopefully that looks a bit better. I'm going to put the seat post back in here so I can get it out of the stand, and then start putting it back together. I'm going to try and clean this as well. Done a bit of Googling last night, and Zolotone paint, by all accounts, it's quite difficult to clean successfully. It feels kind of like 800 grit sandpaper, feeling like this, so you can imagine how difficult that's going to be to clean, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to take this Evaporust and put it back in the bottle. It's good stuff. Excuse the workshop is a bit of a mess today, apologies. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a rush, unfortunately. But you can see that's took pretty much all of that corrosion off straight away. And the seat quick release looks a bit more presentable. I'll attempt to get this back in here without making an almighty mess. I'm sure there's a limit how many times you can use this, but it still works. And again, you can filter it with a coffee filter or something, but for what I'm asking it to do, it's doing the job. Do need to give these a rinse with water now though, just I think stop the reaction. And this is just dirt, that will clean up now. So I'll just give them a quick rinse and come back. Right, they're all rinsed. I'm just going to throw all this in the ultrasonic cleaner now, to be honest, with some other bits and pieces, and then start putting it together. Let's check this cassette first. You'll like this. It's quite an old classic red label cassette. These are quite sought after. These are. I don't know what condition it's in, but look at this lock ring. It's basically almost fell off. I don't think you even need a tool to get that out. Super loose. So let's see if I can pull it without a chain whip. There you go. So obviously put this in the Ultrasonic as well. On this one here, there's some little bolts here. You can actually pull these out and take this cassette to pieces and give it a good clean inside. So I'll just do that. I never have worked out what size spanner this is. Just use a small adjustable one and they just pop straight out. It must be like a 3 or 4 millimeter, I guess. I mean, I could always measure it, couldn't I? 4 millimeter, that was a good guess, isn't it? I don't have a 4 millimeter spanner. I've got a 3 millimeter spanner, a 3 and a 5.5. This is a Part Tool one. This fits specialised headsets, future shocks. When you've got to tighten the side bolts down to adjust the preload, it fits that. No idea what the 5.5 fits. Can't say I've ever used it. Pull them out and it'll literally just fall to pieces. Scrape all this crud off, get it in the Ultrasonic with the rest of the stuff. I'm going to take this to pieces, but I'll put it in anyway. In the bottom bracket, I'll take these bearings off first though. I think I've got new ones somewhere, but these actually look really good. But I should have some somewhere. I'll split this down. I don't want to put this big chainring in because I don't want to lose this sticker. Could potentially fall off in the Ultrasonic, so just quickly whip this down to its component parts. I may have been a little bit hasty with those brake cables. I had a look last night and these are 2 millimeter thick brake cables basically, and they appear to be pretty much impossible to find. Like I say, I will fit normal brake cables, but I think what I'm actually going to do is fit them for this video, hang on to the bike and track down the proper 2 millimeter ones and then refit those because they do look really good, and I think it's just for the authenticity really. But yeah, I'm going to replace them at some point, don't worry. But yeah, they're pretty much non-existent. I even looked at scooter cables and stuff and yeah, I can't find them. They were extremely corroded, if you remember, so try and polish these cranks up a bit as well. Like I say, there's LX, DX, XT cranks, all from the same era, same year even. I'm really not convinced there's any difference whatsoever, other than the sticker. They look identical, absolutely identical. There's actually a specialised chainring, the middle one, so it's been changed at some point. A bit of a headset as well. I'll split this down as well. It's probably never been serviced in its life. Straight to these jockey wheels. Literally no corrosion anywhere. And with that out, you can unwind this immense spring pressure carefully like that. There's a little screw in here, and this we'll just pull out now. Like that. There's actually pretty nice grease in there, but we'll give it a good clean anyway. I think somebody suggested I do this in the vise, which is probably a good shout. Put a 5mm in there, support the rear mech on there. We'll try that when I put it back together. But for the moment, you just pop this clip off without losing it. And there's another big spring in here which will now just fall out, so you just got to be a bit careful. Just be able to press this through like that. There you go. There's another spring in there. Take this bolt out. This is the bolt that needs a lot of grease, otherwise it seizes up. So if you're putting a rear mech into the Ultrasonic, get it down to this state here, otherwise it just fills with water in here, corrodes itself internally and never works again. Right, I'm going to put all this in the Ultrasonic as it is, and then we'll come back, put it all back together. Just the rear derailleur really I'll focus on, and then we can actually start putting bits back on the bike. I'm going to clean the frame in the meantime though. That could be interesting. Only small nuts and bolts put into this little cage here, so these jockey wheel bushes and stuff just stop them getting lost in the Ultrasonic down holes and stuff. If you're worried, don't be. I know where it all goes. There you go, a whole bike in one Ultrasonic. That's why it's important to buy something a decent size. I always bought something that would fit a complete chain set in basically. You can see you can even fit that big chain ring in there if need be, but I'm not going to. Right, I've finally bought a bench parts washer. I had one before, but my issue is it just gets a bit sprayy and goes everywhere. So there's no flow control on it, that's the main issue. So if anyone's got any solutions for that, let me know. It does a good job. The buzzing is the Ultrasonic, by the way, so sorry. Anyway, I'll continue. So what feels like an eternity later, everything is pretty much scrubbed up. Like I say, this cassette's come up really nicely, to be fair. I'm going to get polish right in a minute and see if I can get these cranks to look a bit better. There's nothing I can do with this fading, unfortunately, so it's going on as is. And on here, all of this cleaned up really nicely. Chain rings, etc. Mechs come up. Look at this rear mech. Looks like brand new. They really don't make them like they used to. Bottom bracket, etc. Jockey wheels, they've all come up really nice. Bottom bracket axle. I'm going to try and polish this a bit as well. Even that's a Shimano unit, quality. And it is actually the original saddle. It's a Marin post, Calloy actually, but in a Marin saddle. It's actually in reasonable condition as well. The DX pedals actually clean up really well. What I'm looking at, guys, I don't know if anyone can help me, I'm looking at sort of a DIY Cerakote finish on this. I've done a bit of Googling, and some people say it's easy, some people say it's very difficult. So anybody's got any experience of that or an alternative? A tough black matte finish, basically, not a spray paint. It's an actual coating, it needs to be durable. Obviously replace these bolts, but yeah, I'll be looking at doing something like that. in the future, potentially, if someone can advise. Shark fins cleaned up lovely, all that stuff's come off. So I throw the rear mech back together, show you how to do that. Get my polisher out first, see if I can clean it up. And then the rest of it I'll just put back together off camera because it's not very exciting, and then we'll put the bike back together. Alright, get this cassette back together. I found a 4mm socket, can you believe it? This black one goes at the bottom, I do know that now. And guess what? My parts guy has found a brand new set of brake cables, so they are on order. Fantastic. I don't know how he does it, honestly. Everything I ask him for, it appears to be completely obsolete. 2 minutes later, here's one. So they're on order. So hopefully I can get them into this video for you. Brand new set with housings as well, so that'll be cool. And that goes on there like that, and then it's just a case of building up the cassette. This is my Pritt stick Loctite. 1.35 Newton meters. Honest. I wonder if there is actually a torque setting out there for this. Right, done. And then this has lost a sticker over the years, but still looks pretty good. Good to go. There's a lot of pitting on this, a lot of corrosion. Not much I can do with that, unfortunately, other than getting them re-chromed, and I'm certainly not doing that. Sorry. Hashtag not sorry. So I'm going to put the rear mech together, and as somebody else suggested in another video, as I said, someone says put an Allen key in the vise to do this bit. So I thought I'd go with that. That bit goes on there with this little bush. Get some grease on here. Plenty of grease. You don't want this seizing up. This drops on here. And put a spring in. And there's a little plastic bush that goes on there. A seal. And then the fun and games is getting this piece back on here. So this spring goes in here, like that. And then the problem then is this piece here, it needs to go behind here. And obviously you've got to overcome the spring pressure there doing that, which is a bit challenging. So the easiest way I found to do it, take this screw out, use an Allen key in there, and you can just leave it around. So you just need to wind that around until it's behind this knuckle, and then press it down whilst trying to hold it at the same time. It's just quite challenging, I'm not going to lie. And then you need to get this clip back on before it all explodes. Like that. Almost had it then. I can hear somebody outside. That's not good timing. Thank you. Third time lucky. What's he ring the doorbell for if he doesn't even want me? I don't know. Right. You can see how tricky this can be. Get this clip in before it explodes again. We're in. Right. Step one. Get your piece screw back in. Funky green Loctite on this one from back in the day. So this is an M550. If you look at any Shimano component ever made, it'll have a date code on there. OH. You can look that up, see how old it is. Like I say, I already checked, and I think it's 90, I think it came back as. Every single part will have a date code on it. It'll be a sticker or stamped in like this. You can add grease to the spring. I forgot to do it in there, but honestly I don't think it makes much difference. Pretty well plated. And the important bit is the central sort of bush bit. And this piece went on next. Like that. This piece here is what needs the grease. So it'll drop down there, drop that spring in there, get this Hoth screw back in there, and we can wind it back up. Like that. Drop a Loctite on this bolt, because this is an important one. I mean, they're all important, right? And that's that. That's pretty much held together now. So take it out of the vise now, and then you need to wind it back around. Like that, and then get that other screw in there. Can be challenging because it's under a lot of pressure. Now, get that in there, and again, a bit of Loctite on there. Screw that in. Like so, and that stops against there then. That's it, basically back together. So I'll just throw the jocker wheels back on, not very exciting. And then I honestly think we can start putting the bike back together. I've said that 10 times now. Quick pause before we continue with this to say a massive thanks to Sport and Leisure for sponsoring today's video. So we all know there's nothing worse than being right in the middle of a big job like this, waiting for a part that said it's going to be delivered today. It's not here, is it? Days away yet. I've been there so many times, I had to explain it to customers. Your bike's not ready because this part said it was in the UK. It's in Spain. Yeah, not good. Anyway, that's exactly why I use Sport and Leisure. They're based right here in the UK. Stock levels are live. Said it's on the shelf. It really is on the shelf and ready to go. Get your order in before 3 PM. It's dispatched the very same day with free delivery on all UK orders. Next day delivery is only £2.50. Brilliant when you just need to crack on with it. You know, you don't want it hanging around all week in the stand waiting for parts. They've also updated the channel discount scheme for you. Head over to sportandleisure.com/BCR or scan this QR code on the screen right now. It'll generate 10% discount at checkout off your very first order. You're buying parts anyway, it's an easy way to save a bit of cash. So the links are in the description below, and massive thanks again to Sport and Leisure for continuing to support the channel. Let's get back to this old Marin then. Right, that's everything put back together. The last thing is these shifters. So, as I say, happy days. I've got new brake cables on the way. That's a result. So I'm going to take this gear cable out. I'm going to get some lube in there and get them cleaned up a bit. Little cover here. The first versions of Rapidfires, where they both push. Nowadays you've gone to obviously a trigger in front. I do like these, and you've got access to the cable there. See, this one's pretty sluggish, very sluggish, but we'll fix that. Don't disassemble it any more than that, unless you really have to, because shifters are just the worst thing in the world you can take apart. Don't do it. So for this one I use Finish Line One Step, so it's basically a cleaner and lubricant. It does a really, really good job on this. You can use heat. I've done a few videos on how to resurrect these, but they normally, well, like I say, I don't think I've ever been beaten by one yet. Unless it's been crash damage, then you'll struggle, but if it's just dry lube, crusty old grease, they'll come back, don't worry. I think this is going to end up being a long video. Might be the hour mark on this one. There's a lot to do still. We've got to look at the wheels yet. Got to find some tyres. We've got to put it all together. I'll wait for the brake cables. Oh, there's all sorts to do. And we've got to attempt to clean the frame. Wow, that could be a challenge too far. Again, you could refinish these brake levers without too much difficulty. It's a bit stiff on that one. Get some lube in there as well. So you've got a choice of 3 positions on here to locate into these 4 pegs here. So you can sit that sort of there. I mean, I've got a die cut machine, but I'd love to be able to make little ones like this, but you can't do it on a die cut. You need some other fancy sticker machine, I think, but I'm not sure which one. You can do single colour die cuts or 2 or 3 pieces stuck together, but you certainly can't do anything like this on it. It'd be good if I could. So I've got some gear cables, put those in there so we can put these covers back on. And that's the beginning then, I guess. Right, just threads through there, you'll see the hole. Right, finally. Clamp that cable in here loosely, and then you can pull the tension on this, and then you can operate these levers to make sure they're doing what you want them to do. Like that. Perfect. Once that lube gets going, good as new. Oh, this one's not happy. I'm not sure what gear it's supposed to be in now. I know I said don't take them apart, but this is not working, so I'm going to have to. I'm sure you're not going to be beaten on camera by the first one ever. You can warm them up, as I say, that does help, but you can also melt them doing that, so be careful. Why are you not working? Oh, it's making clicky noises now. I think I'll put the cable back in, get it on the bike eventually, and then see what it does with the spring tension of the derailleur pulling it as well. Yeah, I can't emphasise enough, don't take them further apart than that, because it's just impossible. There are some videos out there, show you how to do it, and I've tried, trust me, but I don't have the patience for springs, they just drive me mad. Right, it's nice and shiny now at least, that's good. Not convinced, we'll see what happens later. I think I'll need more of a brushing than a wiping, to be honest, to try and get into the pores of the texture. It's pulling some dirt off. But to be honest, I'm not sure it's going to get a whole lot better than this. There's a bit of corrosion, like I say. Right, I'll give it a full wipe down like this and see how she's looking. Not much more coming off, so we'll see how it goes. Right, bear with. I'm just going to throw this back in for now so I can actually clamp it by this bit of grease first. Okay, right, I can't think it's going to get much better than that. If anybody knows of a foolproof, proven way of cleaning Zolotone, let me know. Not just theories, I need proven techniques. Back in the day, came up with like new, all that good stuff. As for now, I'm going to have the bike for a long time anyway, don't worry. So I'll come back to it if someone comes up with a miracle solution. So with that said, I think we'll just put it together now. Put some grease in here. Someone was saying that you should be using Loctite in here rather than grease, because they come loose. I'm not saying you're wrong, but personally I always find they're seized up, not come loose. I guess it do the same job. What do you guys do? Grease or Loctite? The shinier bits you can put on there, the more it will detract from the paint. That's the theory. So it's finished. I think I'll quickly just run a tap through this, clean it out. It's not too bad, and it did come in and out very easily, but I'll just run it through anyway. Chuck some cutting oil in there. I'm not trying to cut anything, but Left hand thread, don't forget. Right, so we can throw the bottom bracket in now. Grease in here, anti-seize grease, whatever your preference is. About my preferences, I'm going to make my pitch at 30,000 subs, guys. I'm making my pitch to finish line. I genuinely like all of their products though, I'm not just saying it. I do really like it. So the bottom bracket itself has cleaned up to be pretty much brand new. I've got some new bearings in there. So I'm going to pump some grease in here. And I've shown you a mobile XHP Treble 2 in the past, and it's still really a really good grease, don't get me wrong. So if you've got that, then keep using it. But as a potential future ambassador to Finish Line, sounds good, doesn't it? Then I've got to use their stuff. And it is genuinely a fantastic grease. So I'm on 24,915 subs as we speak. Not that I'm counting or anything. So potentially 25,000 end of the day. That'd be a pretty big milestone for me. 100 is the target. It's a big target. I'm thinking maybe end of 2027 might be just about doable, but I need your help, guys. It's that old cliche, isn't it? If you're not already subscribed, then why not? Right, let's get this in. Let's see, adjustable cup. Put the fixed cup in first. Left hand thread. Might have mentioned that once or twice. Right, that ain't going anywhere. Nice. I'll just spin it around to show you this side. If you got a line on this one, that indicates drive side. Normally, it goes in there. Adjustable cup full of grease and shiny new ball bearings. Yeah, I wish they still made these bottom brackets. Well, I mean they do, but not in this quality they don't. I do get an awful lot of people emailing me asking me for compatibility fitment issues and potential upgrades and stuff, and I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't know. I don't follow the market that closely. All I do is fix stuff and fit things that people bring me. Ask me questions like that, all I'm going to do is spend an hour on Google. I'm not getting paid for it, so I help where I can, but I can't do everything. It's just too difficult. So you're just adjusting this adjustable cup, losing the name, until you're happy with the level of compromise between play and roughness. Feels pretty good there. You can adjust it when it's all fitted on, anyway. So hold that one there then, and then you need this amazing C-spanner to lock it all down without moving your other one, hopefully. Happy with that? This is awesome. Alright, may as well throw the cranks on while we're here. You're a greaser or not a greaser, I always put a light coating of grease on the tapers. Somebody had a massive argument with me, getting proper arsey, but I'm sorry. I've done it for 30 odd years and nothing's ever fell off yet, so I'll keep doing it. Like I say, a lot of people ask me technical questions. What's the latest, greatest wheel? Stuff like that. Guys, I just don't know. I don't follow the market. GCN's your friend for that, I guess. Or Google. What I have done, I've started to set up a thing on the Buy Me a Coffee website. So I've set up a bit of a shop thing there where you can send me a video clip, a good quality video clip of an issue, along with a small charge, and I will get back to you with my best guess as to what the issue is. But obviously I can only guess, as well as the information that you send me, so see how that goes. 40 Newton meters on these generally, but that's pretty damn tight there. I love talking to you guys though, don't get me wrong, but even at this level of subs, I can just, I can't really imagine how many questions I'm going to be getting later on. So at some point I have to draw the line, set limits, etc, etc. I hope you understand that. I'm not being a dick, I'm just trying to manage it. Anyway, that's it. There's 140 odd videos with information out there, so hopefully you can find what you need there. If not, you've got a great video idea, let me know. I'll see if I can do it for you. Right, that is on. Now you've got that, you can rock this side to side, see if there's any play. Absolutely zero, so that's sweet. Ceramic speed, eat your heart out. Put my super expensive crank caps back in. I'm putting a bit of grease on these as well. I know they are plastic and they shouldn't seize, but trust me, they can get challenging. It can be hard to see if it's straight or not. Whether you're brave enough to try and get the dots to line up is up to you, but these things round out very, very easily. So there's a little bit to go there, but I don't think I'm going to get it. It'll just kill it. I'm bottling it, sorry. Get this rear mech back on now, after its 35-year service. Sit on your B-stop there. Bit of grease on the mounting bolt as well. There you go. Front mech can go on now as well. Soon comes together once everything's clean. I do still need to look at the wheels though, and that could be a bit time consuming. I want to do the bearings in the wheels as well. Looks pretty good there. Tighten that up, make sure it's parallel obviously with your chainring. I'll tell you this every time. Cool. Big shout out to Bernie, thank you very, very much. I will certainly be putting that towards a new endoscope. If you saw my compilation video where I was trying to endoscope a seat tube, I suggested I might need a better one. I jokingly suggested that you guys help me, but that's hugely appreciated. Thank you very, very much, Bernie. Wow, thank you. Then we get the fork back in next, so headset bearings obviously. I don't have them, there's two odd sizes. It's got a larger one in the bottom and a different one in the top, but they are in immaculate condition today. With some fresh grease, obviously. So the one with the bigger ball bearings goes in the bottom. I guess the theory is it takes more load, and this one goes in the top. Drop the fork back in, some extra grease on the crown race. Like so. I've literally just ordered my new endoscope thanks to Bernie. Can't believe that, that's just incredible. Thank you very, very much. Get stem in, bars in, shifters on, brakes on, no cables yet. And then look at the wheels, that's good. This little washer sits in here, it's got a little tab, sits in this groove here. Like that. And that just screws on there to lock it all down. Like that. You just need a spanner to nip that down. It's easy when it's on the floor and you've got a wheel in, but you can feel that play there. Like I say, I'll wait till I get the wheel in, so much easier then. Get the cable guide back in there, and I'll put a new shiny bolt on there, because the other one was a bit dead. Such a high quality cable guide. That'll do for that. You drop the stem back in, get some grease on this. This is aluminium going into steel. And we all know what happens then, don't we? Bad things. Get this lined up, I can see very easily where it's going to go. Nice and tight. You're not going to break that, don't worry. Back that out now. Screw this bottom one down a little bit. I can hold the stem now, so I should be able to get it. Get it where you're happy with, and then just tighten them against each other. Feels good. Bye-bye endoscope, new one coming tomorrow. I don't use it for much, but when you need to get inside frames and see what cable routing they've got going inside, it's fantastic for that. It will be now, I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put the bar on, but I'm going to fit it the right way around this time, just for a laugh. Such a shame it's faded. I mean, I guess you could get it painted if you want to buy this bike and go to that extreme. Not too much difficulty. The Zolotone you can't paint, let me tell you. Well, as far as my way you can't. But this should be an easy fix for someone with relevant skills. It's not me. So get these shifters back on there. Shifters, brake levers, brifters, STR units, whatever you want to call them. STR units, I prefer. Around about there. I need some grips. Tighten these down. And then I think we'll jump onto the wheels next, because that's going to hold me up next. Tighten these up somewhere. I hope this one works. I mean, if it doesn't work, I've got nothing to lose, so I'll take it apart and you can have a laugh. See if I can make it work. How hard can it be? Looking good. Gonna look at these cantilevers first there. Always get some grease on these. Same on the front. So the brake pads are pretty good on these, so I don't really see any value in changing them out. These bolts are a bit corroded as well, unfortunately. I'm sure you could replace those as well. There's a whole lot less parts on the bench now, that's for sure. Make that up. I'll say I'll be using this straddle cable here, this one, when the shiny new cables come. It is a bit corroded, but there's literally nothing you can do about that. These come in different sizes. This is classed as B82. I'm sure there's some reference to that somewhere in the world. Rockstar. Okay, I'm not sure what that's in reference to, if anyone can enlighten us. I don't think it's the computer game company, that's for sure. Always put it in the middle hole, if you've got a choice of holes. The other two holes are for increasing or decreasing spring pressure dramatically. Obviously you've got a fine-tune adjustment screw on the brake itself. But if that's not enough, then you can jump it up really highly or lowly. That's not a word, is it? With these holes on the brake, on the air fork itself. Same on the back. Gear cables can sit there. I might connect them up before the brake cables arrive, but we'll see how we get on. I'll get these pedals on next. Plenty of grease on these. Grease, anti-seize, anything, something. Please, something. These just screw in. Get yourself a pedal spanner, you can whip these on super easy. one hand, look. Get that one in there, hold there, and nip it up. Same on this one, again, another left-hand thread. Alright, go for a quick break, and we'll come back and look at these wheels. Put the new shark fin back on, there's a bit of sticky tape on there, and 2 cable ties. They actually give you a slot here for a cable tie, so it's designed for it. So that's on. Alright, definitely the wheels now. So for the wheels, I'm going to put some fresh grease in here, obviously. I'm going to take these hideous tyres off, I'm going to put something else on. I'm still a little bit undecided, so I've got a choice of two, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to get them off. Yeah, damn good fit, that's for sure. Jeez. Flipping heck. Try a Tupri. This Park Tool copy, I think, by the looks of it. Looks exactly the same. Metal core, plastic body. Oh my god, I just bent the metal tile lever. I'm cutting this off in a minute, guys. This is just ridiculous. Flipping heck. It's an inch too small, as she said. Right, there you go. Oh, that was far more difficult than it needed to be. So what I'm going to do is just clamp this in the vise one end, spin the cone off the other side, and get some grease in there. That's clamped up, so Deore LX hub as well. Should be a 13 and a 17. Note the 2 17s for wheels. That in there, and that in there. Let's crack that one off. I wonder if these have ever been looked at. There's that one. Just clean these up. The world's dirtiest cloth. You get through a lot of microfiber cloths here, guys, that's for sure. You need a washing machine, that's what I'll need. I mean for the garage, not for the house. Obviously I've got a washing machine. I don't think she'd approve of these going in there. In fact, I know she wouldn't. I've already asked. You can imagine the response. Normally you just pop this out without too much difficulty on Shimano, but this is going to be a tight one, prove me wrong. I'm leaving it be because I don't want to damage it. I could use my Le Bicycle puller, couldn't I? That would get it out, wouldn't it? Should we try it? Let's try that. Le Bicycle, I can't pronounce that word. Can't see why it won't work for this. Find one of these that fits in the middle of that. Like that one. Put that in there, put that on there. Wind this down. Tighten this into the tool. I'm hoping that'll just pull it out without breaking it. There you go. Yes, I know you knew I'll do something very, very similar to the Hub Genie. I don't have one yet. I don't know. I've never really felt a need for it. I'd probably do that job quite well as well. That's out. Just so I can clean all the old grease out of there. See if this one will pop out like they normally do. There you go. Right, cups are in actually really, really good condition. So obviously just pump that full of your favourite grease. Get some bearings in there. I'm actually going to reuse the old Shimano bearings. Reason being they're quality Japanese bearings. And honestly, they're going to be better than the cheap Chinese rubbish that you get nowadays. So in my opinion, I'm going to put them back in. 10 in each side on the front. Obviously if they were dull or brown, obviously you're not going to use them, but these are nice and shiny. And the hub felt actually really good before I took it apart, so you can't beat Japanese quality, guys. I don't think there's anyone can deny that. Very small mallet, this is literally micro mallet. There's such a terminology. Literally the weight of the hammer getting that in, not hitting it. Drop it back on this axle now. I'm just going to put a drop of extra grease here. And drop the wheel back over carefully without knocking your ball bearings out. Like that. Again, just to blast more grease in here. Ready for this cone, which again is in perfect condition. So you've got to compromise between again being too tight and play. You just got to get it just in the sweet spot. Like that. Because we're holding the other end in the vise, it can't move. So we're doing all the adjustment down here. Put the cone where you're happy with it, and then just nip this 17 down onto there without moving the cone. Just a final check on there. Happy with that? And fully tighten it. That's that one. Oops. That's that one done. And just repeat the same on the back. I'll clean this rust off as well. Here, different size cone span on the back is 15. Right, I'll just finish this one and then come back to you with the tyre situation. So, I've just noticed some really loose spokes on here, so I'm just going to throw this in the jig. See what's going on with this. It's not the straightest wheel in the world, that's for sure. Well, it's not dished very well either. It needs to come over this way. So I'm going to start non-drive side, give all of them a quarter of a turn to see what that does for it. Right, this is looking better. I'm just going to straighten her up a bit now. That bit there is miles out. Right, that's good. They all feel good as well. Not easy. Get this shiny cassette on there. I might think about tightening it up as well. So both wheels looking a bit healthier than did. Tyres, let me show you. So I've got a pair of Smoke and Dart, actually in reasonable condition. The reproductions from Panarisa. I think they're about 4 years old, but they've not done many miles, that's for sure. And they're not in too bad a condition. I've got a pair of Billy Bonkers, which are obviously a modern tyre. I'm not really sure. What do you reckon, guys? I can't really ask you, because by the time you comment, and I've decided. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's toss a coin. We're calling heads Billy Bonkers. There you go. Billy Bonkers it is then, guys. There you go. What do you reckon? I don't know. Don't worry, by the time you watch this, I'll still have it and I can swap them over if you're really that outraged about it. That's because it's rubbing on that, don't worry. It's rubbing on my shark fin. I'll move it. There you go. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. And the front one. Problem is, 26 is pretty much dead now. Choice of tyres is, well, unless you want sort of £10 cheap rubbish you put on your kid's bike, choice of decent tyres is absolutely microscopic now. At least in the UK, that's for sure. 26 is dead. Long live 32. Grips, it's got some replacement foam grips, very similar to what came off. These are Pro Palm from AliExpress. I like these. Didn't have lock-ons back in 1990. At least I don't think we did. I can't remember. Get these on with some lacquer, hairspray, whatever you want. Good stuff. And your all important end caps. Well, it didn't work, did it? Got it. On my list of jobs to do is to put some boarding in front of those toolboxes. The amount of stuff I've lost underneath there is not even funny. Right, there you go. So we've got to throw a chain on it, obviously, throw the gear cables on it, and then wait for the delivery of the brake cables, and that'll be about done. So I will put a chain on next. It's getting a bit late in the day now. Right, carry on. The M-Wave, made by KMC, I believe. There's certainly a KMC quick link in there. The tyres are growing on me, actually. The old chain was not really anywhere whatsoever, comparing it to this new one, so that means the cassette and the chainrings should be good. It's on, you can pedal it. I'll just check these limit screws without a cable. That looks good. I'll just cut some new gear housing, get these connected up. So there's 3 new bits. I finally upgraded to metal end cap ferrules, by the way. He's got seals in them and all sorts, nice jazzy ones, so no more plastic. So these gears should work pretty well, to be honest. I'm not touched any limit screws or anything, so it should just work. Right, put these in. I'm going to cross these over because everyone keeps moaning at me when I don't. And just cross it back over underneath the down tube. Just keeps the cable away from the head tube there. So this is the front derailleur, and we'll cross them over underneath here like that. It just gives you a little bit of space down there. I get it, everyone mentions it every time and I never do it, but maybe I'm wrong, so let's go with this for now. So let's get this right. This is the rear derailleur cable now. Go underneath the world's fanciest cable guide and to the derailleur. You know what, this will work absolutely perfectly. 7-speed, can't go wrong. So I'll connect the front one up, but I am not convinced that the gear lever is in the correct position at the moment. We'll see how it goes. So they basically cross over now underneath here. Not sure I'm a fan, but I get the logic for doing it as well. There's no right or wrong, to be honest. Personal preference. But to me, you're just creating metal to metal there, so chain is currently in small, and we've got a gap here. That's what you're looking for. Connect this up. We've got 2 barrel adjusters. A little bit of tension on that. It's a shame these are corroded. Probably could get some somewhere else, but take this off a bit. And this one. See how it goes. I've done nothing else. I've got to try and get to the middle chainring though, so the derailleur's moving. Doesn't want to stay though. kind of there for now. Let's go to the back. That's what we're interested in. I just pulled through loads of cable when I did that, so I've got to retighten that. All this slack now. Should be about right. One gear. That's pretty nice. Almost. I'm big there, that's why it's struggling a bit. The back's not horrendous, but I'm going to have to sort the front out because I can't sort that properly until I've done that. Leave it in the middle of the cassette for now. So it's on the big ring at the moment. I'm just using these levers. That goes down and it goes straight down 2 gears. I'm going to press that up. Could just be cable tension at the moment, but it feels pretty damn tight to me. So it does shift. That's one big swoop of the lever, goes all the way up to the top. When I let go of that lever, it should stay there. And it does. And then one click of the gear lever drops it down 2 gears. And there's no clicks left in this gear lever. So I think we've got an issue with this lever, guys. It's bad news. Very bad news. There's that lever there. When I click that there, it just goes all the way down. Click that there, look, all that travel there will eventually go to the big chainring. And instead of 2 clicks for a triple chain set, I've only got 1. I'm not happy there at all. Right, we've got issues. So this one's clearly not happy, so a few options now. I'm going to flush it through with a PB blaster or another actual penetrating fluid rather than just a lubricant. That might free up the pulls, because basically what I expect to see in there is the pulls that release it are completely gummed up on the grease, and it just needs that freeing. If that doesn't work, we'll go with some heat. If that doesn't work, we'll throw the whole thing in the ultrasonic. If that doesn't work, I might have to take it apart. I've just found a good video on YouTube with this exact shifter, so all is not lost. So let's just flood this through with something a bit stronger. Unleash the bulldog. I'm going to take this cap off actually. I'm not going to be beaten by one of these ever. Like I say, unless you crashed it and bent something, I've never had one yet that's not revived itself through one of these techniques. Like I say, just drown it. You've got to find the pull. There's one here. And good thing now it's on the bike, we've got the cable under tension, so you can just work that in there and hopefully it starts doing something. No, at the moment it's not. That's a good noise there. But when you give me one, that's the problem. That's good and that's good. So come to the derailleur, that's on the top chainring now. So this should go to the middle and this should go to lower. But it doesn't. So it's this one here that's the issue. Got all this slackness, that might have just released that down to its last position, hopefully. And you saw how much fluid I was using there, so it's not just a quick blast, you really need to literally flood it. Don't be afraid. It can swim. So it should be in the lowest chainring position now with a reasonably tight cable, so I'm just going to try that again. So that's in the middle chainring there. Won't go down. Goes up, no problem. Releases to the middle one, no problem, so that's an improvement. It will not go down to that small ring there. But we know the derailleur will because we've seen it down there, so it's not a limit screw. Oh, there you go. That's actually going 2 clicks over now, so it was in the wrong gear. I think we might be almost there. So I need to drop that back down again onto the smallest ring. So with no cable, pedal that down. Now pull that through. Try that. That's up 1. That's good. That's good news. That's just a limit screw. We can fix that. Presume it's this one. That's up to the largest chainring. Now 1 click down. Middle chainring. Another click. Do we have it? Yes. Goes up. Kind of goes up there. That was me. I slipped. Up. Up. Still a bit sticky, but it is kind of doing what it's supposed to do now. And 1. Down another. So once you get it moving, you just got to keep pumping this through positions for a good few minutes until it's happy. It's not quite there yet, almost there. So I'm going to unscrew this. This is a bit sticky. Not been used for a long time. Several turns on that. Let's go again. So down one. Too much cable tension out, won't go down. So unscrewing that now until it drops down. Alright, back up. Back down one. Back down another. Up. It's not pretty, but it's kind of working out. A bit more finessing, I think I'll get that. And this low limit screw is miles out, so we'll start with that one there. Pull that out of the way, and screw against it. And that's just basically skimming that in a cage now, so that's good. Alignment wise looks pretty good. It could potentially come over this way a tiny bit. So it's almost there. I'll have another fiddle with it in a bit. It's getting a bit boring now, and I'll close it in a minute anyway, so I'll come back to it tomorrow, but at least the lever's doing what it should do now. I've got all my clicks available, and it is basically shifting. It's just a matter of fine tuning it now to stop the rub in each gear, but we're almost there. So I'll persevere with that and come back to you when I got it right. But that's basically all it's going to be, is a matter of changing the alignment there, getting the cable tension. I might even need to just tweak the height on this, because I remember I did set it a little bit on the high side, so I might drop that down a smidge as well, but we're almost there. A few days later, shiny new brake cables. Right, I'm going to quickly fit these, because I'm conscious this video is super long. I've already edited the rest, and well, it's a long one, but get these banged on. Right, that will go to there. And that will go to the front brake lever. UK, sorry, not sorry. Trim that up. Well, yeah. I'm not even sure my cutters are going to get this. Flipping out, look. Won't go over there. There you go. There's one bit. They haven't given me any end ferrules, and these are obviously a different size to anything else, so I can either find the old ones, and we'll see what else we've got. Right, I've managed to save the ferrules off the old cables, luckily. Just doesn't use one in the lever, just a bare cable goes in there, so they're all fitted. And the cable itself, even this is twice the thickness of the normal one, plus this plastic piece it comes with. Chunky. There's the old ferrule. Went on there quite nicely actually. Burnt them off the old cable, and then they pressed on here without too much of a fight. So I'll get around this roller and look down to the brake. Like I say, I've edited all this video so far when I was waiting for these cables, and yeah, it's going to be in over an hour. I just can't really chop it much down. But you all seem pretty keen on the longer videos, so let's see how long is too long. I had this piece of clear protecting stuff on it before. I've trimmed off the bad ends, and it actually looks reasonable, so I'll put that back on. Through here. Come on! Don't let me down now, we're so close. Yes! And that will go through here, directly down to the brake through that, and this piece hooks in the other side. I don't get much spare, do they? Jeez. It's arrived. New endoscope. Fantastic. Absolutely awesome. Low power. Need to charge it. Thank you very much again, Bernie. Really appreciated. There you go. So the cable goes through there, hook it into your brake, and through the actual cantilever. The pad might need setting a bit. Just roughly nip it up for now, and then sort that pad out first. And that'll basically get pulled up there and nipped into place. Give it a nice equal sort of length either side. I bet there's people out there missing cantilever brakes, aren't there? Oh, I bet there is. And there's not many. I'll bet. Right, that's on. Sort these pads out. I hate doing these. So basically, under the 10mm at the back, get your pad somewhere where you want it. It'll pivot up, down, left, right. You can pivot it basically wherever you want it to. And maybe get some toe on it if you want. Use 5mm in here to manipulate it around and keep it where you want it. And while you tighten up the 10mm, basically. So you get it wrong, what it's going to do is dive underneath this rim eventually. So should be pretty good. Do the other one. Right, so they are on, but we've got a problem. Put that on, there's no spring return there. These are springing, but it's the actual lever itself. Remember that little black piston thing? It ain't doing nothing. So that's on there, look, like that. And this lever's stuck like this. I'll flick it back like that, and the cantilevers move. But this is not returning, so there's a little black sort of piston in here. I'll have to take this lever part off here, get into there and see why it's not doing anything. I did notice that earlier, but I thought it was going to be okay once you connect the brake up, but it's not. Just spin this up here for a minute. So just staying there at the moment. Let's get this cable out really. So, why are you not moving? You can adjust the reach here, but that doesn't do anything. It's just a block in here, basically it'll pivot around. Oh, let's get it out. Maybe it's just too, oh, there you go. It's just a bit tight on that pinch bolt there. Good. Okay, that was easy. Just connect that back up at the brake. There you go. That's better. Just need to put a little bit more cable through there. I think potentially I'll put just a drop of Loctite on that nut on the bottom of the lever, so I can set it and leave it rather than risk it shaking itself loose. I don't think it ever will, but just be on the safe side. Just got to balance the spring now basically, so there's a 2mm in here, same as any other brake really. Just tweak that until we got a bit of balance. It doesn't have one on the other one unfortunately, so you've got to do it all on one, or you can use the 3 holes to give you more or less, or a lot more or a lot less, and then balance it on the spring, but that's not too bad. It's not a bad length actually after it's tucked in there, so I'll just put this on, I think. Genuine Shimano. There you go. I'll just do the same with the front one, it's pretty much there, and like I say, I do need to find a reflector off another bike just to hook underneath there, just in case this industrial cable ever snaps. I think that's pretty unlikely, but safety first. Right, so I'll get this finished off and then we'll button it up, I think. Actually, that's the back brake, this is the front brake. Pads are marked. I mean, it don't make much difference on these, I don't think, but let's get it right. Oh, I forgot how much I hate cantilevers setting up. You literally need 2 pairs of hands. So you go in, like I say, you've got up and down, then you've got toe. And what you tend to find is over the years it's settled in one position, no matter how much you try and adjust it out of that, it just drops back into that groove. So it can be a bit fiddly. Alright, see how we got now. There you go. Much better. Almost forgot these. For sale. Anybody wants it, let me know. It owes me about 150 quid, so that's all it's going to go for. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of retro content for you. I like to mix and match, as you know. But again, depends what comes through the door or what I end up buying. I might have bought another bike. Anyway, hope you did enjoy that. Hope you learned something, and I'm sorry it was such a long video. Maybe you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thanks for your time, and I'll see you again very soon.